And yeah, I'm curious to see if they face each other often this year in 2020.
They actually did. I mean, way back in 2012 and 2013, they faced each other once each. Dream taking the 2012 game or series, and DongRaeGu taking the 2013 series. A couple of months ago, and by a couple of months ago, I mean 2019, Dream narrowly edged out a victory against DongRaeGu in the Africa World August splits. And throughout 2020, I mean, Dream took an early lead, took 2 series against DongRaeGu, but for the rest of the year, DongRaeGu has had the edge against Dream. So we'll see if DRG can sort of continue this dominant streak. He has definitely. I think that's one of the main stories of 2020 was just how DongRaeGu got better and better and better and became that top tier Zerg player. And especially now in a post-Su world, easily top 3 Zerg. Easily, sometimes number 1 in Korea.
Yeah, I would never go that far, but I know he definitely
he is top 3 Zerg player.
Yeah,
Consistently been in that top 3.
Yeah, I would say everyone would say top 3 Zerg, especially as you said in a post-Su world. It is a dark time we live in. But you know what, Su, he is going into that military, and that's what we were talking about when it came to the last 3 remaining players. They are these military veterans.
Yeah, they've already know what to expect and how to, what's the word I'm thinking of here, like, deal with that. But speaking of dealing with that, we are now on Jagannatha LE, where in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, swatting all the way in the bottom left-hand corner, he is the blue Terran player coming down from the land of South Korea. He is the one who gives his opponents nightmare. The other player going to be representing Bravestar Gaming, DongRaeGu. We have Dream.
I don't know if you noticed, I like how you said Bravestar Gaming and then you said DRG.
Did I?
yeah.
I do have sinuses. That may be an influence.
It's so good. And speaking of spawning in the top right-hand corner of Jagannatha LE, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Team Africa Freaks. It is DongRaeGu.
All right, it's been a while since I've got to cast a player from Courageous Sun's sister clan.
Yeah, and I was about to say, is this the? Am I crazy? Have I forgotten? Is this our first Zerg player today? I think this is. Yeah. I was.
PvPs, so we cast the TVTs. This is our first non-mirror.
Exactly. Yeah, like this is our first non-mirror. This is our first Zerg player. I was like a little bit shocked going into this. I was like, oh my god, I know this race. It's my people. I understand. And oh boy, we'll see how DRG does here against Dream. We'll see what kind of style he likes to go for. Because there are a couple of these top tier South Korean Zerg players who are very stylistic. I think when we look at Dark, we see a lot of Roach play, unfortunately. We got a lot of that a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, we definitely did. But did we get to see Dark in a ZvT? Yes, we did. Twice, 2 weeks in a row. We saw him versus Time, and he was that player who wanted to utilize Roaches. But when it comes to DRG, when it comes to his ZvT, the first thing that pops into my mind, Mutas. Especially nowadays. I mean, it's something that he was known for way back in Wings of Liberty, and nowadays he's bringing back quite a bit. You could even argue that he was one of the key Zerg players to really start to bring Mutas back in the ZvT matchup.
Yeah, definitely, and we'll see if he decides to go for that. Again, I feel like Muta play, it was very prominent, maybe 4 months ago. The meta has shifted slightly since then, but again, it is still completely viable. Again, just like how Dark he goes Roaches, like you can still go for a heavy Ling Bane Muta play, and I'd love to see some of that coming out here from DRG. Likewise, when it comes to Dream, we have seen impeccable bio control. We've also seen some mech coming out from him, so you know, he isn't like defined he isn't stuck with a certain kind of way that he's going to play out this series.
Yeah, I feel like both players really understand that they do have to switch things up. They cannot afford to allow their opponents to start adapting to what they're doing.
Oh yeah. And speaking of, we have a pretty
coming out.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh,
now are we gonna see
Armory?
Are we gonna see an armory following this? Yeah.
We should. We definitely should. We actually saw this last week. I remember we were talking about it, and I specifically said I faced this in the ladder, and I'm like, "Yo, did you win?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but I scouted it." Like that was the big problem. I think we were casting Solar was up against this, and he struggled. Maybe it was Dark. But yeah, this opener, this build has become a little bit more popular in recent times.
Yeah, it definitely has, and it's easy to understand why. It is one of the more effective builds that have come out. Interestingly, Dream not going for... There you go. Concussive Shells now on the way.
Oh boy, and with that Concussive Shell, these Marauders are going to be able to take out or focus on those Queens. Meanwhile, we have the Hellions out here to deal with the Lings and, you know, add some of that DPS. We'll see if DRG is able to scout this, because so far he has not gone in. He has not gone in with an Overlord Scout.
That he has not, continuing to try to send these Lings for it to see what's going on, but now he sees the medevac. Should know that something is up, should get the defenses ready, but is that gonna be enough? I mean, we'll just have to look at and see.
Yeah, we'll have to wait. Exactly, I'm concerned because you know what? Like DRG, he's being a little bit greedy. He has a lot of Queens and he was going for double Evos, but you know what? Queens, they fare fairly well against this, you know, as long as they have energy for transfuse.
And that is very much a key point. At the moment, doesn't seem to really be available for him. Now Dream's head has been completely pulled. DRG spreading the screens out, trying to go for a very natural concave, and is able to get it.
Yo, did he forget his armory? Because he threw down his armory as soon as as soon as the attack happened, he threw it down. I think he tried to morph into Hellbats.
No.
Oh god,
completely shuts this push down. It wasn't DRG who killed Dream. It was Dream that killed Dream.
Oh god. Like I was perplexed because it wasn't an armory, and then as soon as he pushed in, immediately the armory started. I'm like, oh god, like no. Okay, so we do see the Dream. He pokes in, clears some creep, backs off, and he has to try and transition out of this, not really hitting that timing that he would have liked to with those Marauders, with those Concussive Shell.
Yeah, this is not the damage whatsoever that Dream was hoping to be able to do. But on the plus side, he does have a fairly effective force out on the map. It does give him quite a bit of map control.
Yeah, definitely, and you know, he is going for that bias style. He is getting stim. You know, we've got the armory for those Hellbats to be able to soak and, you know, buffer for those Marines. It looks like he actually wants to dive in with them. We'll see what damage he's going to be able to do with these Hellions, and at the same time we do see more Hellions being dropped into the main base. Yeah,
good little multi-prong, gonna be even preventing that wall from coming up. Only a single Queen, unable to really put a dent there. Meanwhile, there is a massive link run by from DongRaeGu, but that is a very good use of the choke point. It's not quite gonna be enough. The bio thinning out. So many drones are getting rose sunlight.
Jesus Christ, so many, as there were Hellions in the main base. The Hellions got into the natural as well, and DRG, he spent so much of his supply, so many Lings went across the map to try and deal some kind of equalizing economic damage, but they did nothing. They just went head first into bio and all went down.
Yeah, I mean, one thing you can say for DRG is that at least he was able to thin out a bit of the bio count, but here come the Widow Mines. DRG doing a very good job of sort of splitting up his Zerglings, and here comes the equalizing damage done. Dream once again gonna be pulling behind DongRaeGu.
Jesus Christ, and honestly, I'm so surprised by the amount of mines that he produced, and it looks like he's playing a little bit like Time here, opting to go for some drops. Like, Jesus Christ, that's so many Widow Mines. But, you know, because of this, like, it did mean that his ground army was a little bit weak, and a lot of damage was done here at the third.
Yeah, that was immediately my first thought as well. Yes, Time did this. And we'll see how Dream is able to utilize them. Mutas are starting to come out from the map, so Dream has a bit of a window where actually putting the medevacs out are going to be effective. I feel like once the mutas come out, you are taking so many risks with drops, regardless of what they are.
Yeah, definitely, as we do see drops coming into the natural, more drops coming into the third base as well. 11 drones going down, not bad. Important to note that detection was required to deal with these Widow Mines because of the armory, but there is detection, there is this Overseer, they all get cleaned up.
Dream somehow sneaking out with 2 mines and a medevac.
Oh god, oh god! Drop the mine!
Let's drop the mine. Oh, if we can get the views! If we can get the views! Okay, not quite gonna be able to do that. That was so clutch at the end with that Overseer.
Oh my god, like half a second and both Widow Mine shots would have gone off and the entire cloud of mutas would have gone down. That would have been devastating. But in the end, DRG was able to hold, able to defend. And you know what? This is getting really scary because DRG, he's getting away with the double evos. Like, he's got 2-2 on the way. Pause gets called. But like, as the pause is being called, like DRG, he's got 83 workers. He didn't lose too many units. Too many workers to those Widow Mines. Like, he's looking pretty solid here.
He is absolutely looking solid. Meanwhile, we take a look at Dream, and he is pretty behind on the economic count. Pretty far behind, but Thor is about to pop out. He has a larger army. He is very, very soon going to be pushing across the map just as his 1-1 finishes up.
Ooh,
but
yeah.
Shaganatha, it is long. It's a long boy.
It's a fairly long boy, but this is nice. You know, we do have a bit of a 1-1 timing coming out here. Dream, he is looking to expand to catch up in terms of the economy, and I'm a little bit surprised. Like, we do have another drop here into the main.
I love how Dream is really trying to target these patches of drones. Thank you very much, Inu, for just asking if Dream ordered delivery food.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it into the Inu. He does translate whenever he can. Of course, he is the Korean caster for these weekly events. 1 of 2. Sometimes Maddox joins as well. And you know what? For those Widow Mines, 9 drones went down. Not too bad, to be honest. Like, some decent damage. What I'm worried about is that, like, this happened with time. If Dream spends all of his, like, Widow Mines, like, harassing across the map, then he's not going to have them to reinforce his main army.
Yeah, and you absolutely want to have that form of splash damage when you're up against Mutiling Bane. Marines alone, they, you can try to kite with them, I guess, but eventually you're going to run out of room, and then the Banelings come in.
Yeah, that's the scary thing, right? Like, it's cool that Dream, he's able to deal this economic damage and basically keep DRG busy, but hopefully it's not at the detriment to his own, the force, the staying power of his main army. Ooh.
Oh, beautiful hit there, thanks to the Drilling Claws. And now the economy has just about evened out. Every time DRG, he has a choice to make. He can either say, okay, 75 drones, not quite ideal, but not bad either. Maybe I just focus entirely on my army reduction, or I go for drones. And if he goes for the drones, then he's going to have less army by the time Dream makes his way across the map.
Yeah, definitely. And oh my god, the mutas, they're sharking around, looking to see if they can catch a drop. And oh, he does pull back, borrows the Widow Mines.
Yeah, only now is DRG going into his humanized carapace, so all of the detection in his overseers are trailing behind the lightning quick mutas.
Yeah, exactly.
Yet.
Definitely. So we do have a couple of Widow Mines scattered here and there. Again, this heavy Widow Mine drop style. Time was using this very heavily in the previous weeks. I love how Dream has adopted it. Like, it's a very aggressive style, very like action packed. But again, we'll see how the main army does. A decent amount of Thors, you know, they will be able to handle the mutas quite well. But what about the Ling Bane?
What about the Ling Bane? Indeed, I only see one mine of this army line.
Exactly.
And honestly, there are a couple of Marauders here. Yeah, a couple of Marauders and sort of Thor. So if Dream is, you know, able to find that Dream position where all of the Banelings connect with the armored units, he should be in a pretty good position. These run by getting absolutely nothing done. Such an MVP those mines were.
Yeah, definitely. The mines, the Marines, they were all in position, so the run by barely did any damage whatsoever. Meanwhile, it looks like, oh, the mutas were able to pick off, you know, a bit of a drop that was trying. Oh my god, another medevac as well, and another Widow Mine.
Yeah, completely getting cleared out here. But the mutas overextended for just a second. A couple of volleys from the Thor was going to be enough to massively thin out their count. But now Dream is deep in creep.
Oh, he is deep in creep, and there are a couple of decent Baneling connections. There are more Banelings behind this as well. At the same time, there was a bit of a drop in the natural. 6 drones did go down, but it did get cleaned up, and I mean, it could just be too much. The ultras are coming out though.
The Ultras are coming out, but without kindness and without +3 armor, they completely get taken out by the Marauders. Thor's looking to deal with the Mutalisk, but will have to respect the Ultra. Ooh. But the Ultras, once again, just going down. Banelings rolling on through. Widowmine's trying to connect with anything it can, but not finding too much. And now both players are so low economically, but I gotta favor DRG's army at the moment, depending on how well Dream can micro. And Dream can micro so well.
Exactly. DRG maybe overextending a little bit, like he just pushed all the way across the map. He was able to take out a Thor, which was quite nice, and heavily bruised the army, so Dream is forced back, and he's not stopping. He keeps going with these Widowmines. As soon as he has 4 Widowmines, he just loads them up and goes for a drop.
Yeah, any other Widowmines that he gets is just a bonus. It's really like, I guess I can send them with my main army. I guess they can deal with Ling Bane.
I guess. But what's scary is that Dream, at the moment, he is still sticking with the same army composition. He hasn't gone for any ghosts or anything like that. And meanwhile, we do have the upgrades on the way. 3-3, we do have the Ultra upgrades on the way. So earlier, the Ultras melted, but that shouldn't happen the next time they meet once Kindness Plating finishes up. Ooh.
Yeah, not anymore. Disa connects with the Widow Mine. Oh, not able to get that last mine borrowed, and the medevac will be taken out. I will say that Dream is focusing a bit more on the Marauder production, and he's starting to get some Liberators, so slowly transitioning to an anti-Lingbane Ultra army, but not quite there yet. Good delay on that hatchery.
Definitely. I love that. Here we go. We do have that transition into Liberators. I do think that that may be the end of the Widowmine drops because, again, you do need a couple of medevacs to make that happen as he is transitioning into Liberators. Meanwhile, still no Spire. Or sorry, he does have a Spire, but he has to switch into Corruptors. So at the moment, DRG, he has a very ground-focused army. He doesn't really have that answer to the Liberators quite yet.
But does he need it? Yes, he does. Is he going to be my answer there? Oh, Ultra is getting completely caught out. There is a huge drop. Starting to be thrown down here into the main base. So much friendly fire on those mines, and the parabombs will be dealing with the rest of those medevacs.
Oh my God.
Dream, he was able to take out the base, but the rest of his army completely caught off guard here. So much of his supply are in these Thors.
Exactly, like he turned away just at the wrong moment. He just lost his entire army. There was no splits whatsoever. The Banelings got the juiciest connections that they could have dreamed for. And now DRG, once again, he's just going across the map. Though it looks like Dream is able to reinforce quite just in time, so he is able to protect his bases.
Yeah, if only barely. All right, DRG posturing around, just trying to see if there are any open bases that he can really pin into.
Yeah, and we do see that he is finally getting out a couple of Corruptors to help deal with the oncoming Liberators. So far, I believe he has been able to keep all his Vipers alive, so he will be able to use them for either yoinking some of those Thors or those Blinding Clouds on the main bio army.
Yeah, anything he can do right now is going to be pretty effective. A lot of Banelings now borrowed, and DRG pretty far off creep. A lot of the Lingbane getting taken out needlessly. Parabombs just chasing the medevacs away. Viper's looking a little vulnerable, but not quite enough anti-air at the moment for Dream. Mostly has Marauders in this army.
Yeah, exactly. Like DRG, he desperately needs that Ling Bane. Like you can't go in with naked Ultras like that. Meanwhile, at the same time, we do have the Liberators. Not being utilized in the main army, actually going to harass across the map.
Yeah, it seems like Dream is pretty confident in his Marauders' abilities. The mines borrow right in the last second, but they don't quite get to connect. They actually connect on the Overseer. But enough supply has been taken out. The 2 Vipers taken out just like that. And Dream looking to counter push. He has the better army supply. He is absolutely going for it.
Yeah, and a bit of a missed rally there. He actually pulled the boys to be a part of that fight all the way from where the Liberator was harassing in the top left-hand corner. DRG falling apart a little bit. Like, we do see Dream just skyrocket ahead in terms of the army supply. Like, DRG, he just hasn't been able to maintain his economy. Like, there's just been too much going on with all the Widowmine drops, with all the Liberator harass as well.
Yeah, and I think that is the secret to playing an economic TVZ like this. It really does rely on, can you get enough harassment done and enough damage in these harassments to force your opponent to take these risks, right? Like going deep off creep.
I just love how we're 17 minutes into the game and we had another big Widowmine drop. Like they just keep happening, and now because of that, DRG losing even more workers. And what's important is that for the past like what 10 or so minutes, DRG just hasn't been able to harass. Like he's just been stuck on the defense the entire game, and because of that, Dream, he's just been slowly expanding, getting more and more bases, getting more and more planetaries, sensor towers all over the place to make sure Dream is in position for any kind of run by. And yeah, like DRG, he just hasn't been able to keep up.
He really has not. Just look at the difference in their minerals at the moment. Dream with a very healthy bank, already maxed out. DRG struggling to get any unit other than Zerglings out.
Exactly. Meanwhile, we do have a Liberator dealing more damage. It looks like we had another drop, question mark. 22 drones went down.
GG is called. We did not even need a massive final engagement. DRG started writing on the wall. And we are, hopefully, he has something different planned for game number 2. DRG made 185 workers that game. That is how much pressure Dream dealt to him.
185 workers, Jesus Christ. And oh my god, DRG, he just couldn't keep up. He couldn't keep up with all the harass that was going on. And as you said, like, there wasn't even a big fight. Like, it just didn't happen. DRG, he was just pulled apart.
Yeah, welcome to Jagannatha. Where that does very much so happen. Oh boy, oh boy.
Oh boy, all right, here we go. We are loading into game number 2. That was only game 1. Jesus.
And it was.
Jesus Christ. And all right, we'll see what happens here in game number 2. We'll see if they go for similar styles. Again, as you were saying, Jagannatha is a bit of a longer map. I do think it favors drops in that, in that style that Dream was going for. But again, I don't think Dream is pigeonholed with this certain style of play in this matchup. I feel like he has a little bit more diversity up his sleeve.
Yeah, absolutely. He may prefer to use mutas, but he is also a player who very much understands you can't just rely on one trick in a best of 5 series like this. But we'll see if that comes into play as we go into Oxide LE. We oxidizing, they breathing. As we see over here in the bottom left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the bottom left-hand corner, the blue Terran player coming out from the land of South Korea. He plays on an absolute knife's edge, absolutely relentless with his harass. How does he keep it up? We'll find out. Representing Brave Star Gaming, BSG, we have Dream.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Oxide LE, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Team Afrika Freaks. It is DongRaeGu.
Oh boy, and you mentioned this Oxide, a much more compact map compared to Jagannatha. But it also has a lot of choke points that, Dream is definitely going to be looking to utilize.
Oh yeah, definitely. We'll see how this works out, because there are a lot of choke points, there are a lot of rocks that make that happen as well. Of course, it's going to be on DRG to try and clear up these rocks and open up all of these attack paths as well, to try and utilize, the way this map transforms the terrain maneuvers throughout the game. And yeah, we shall see what happens here. We'll see if DRG, if he goes for mutas again, if he goes for a bit of a roach push, if he goes for Hydra Lurker Viper instead. There are different styles of play that you can go for, but as you said, DRG, he does favor his mutas.
Yeah, and this is a best of 5. He does have the opportunity to just try to go for, those mutas again and hope that he does it better this time. Or try to use them a bit more efficiently than last time.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see, because he was doing okay with the mutas before, but we did see that there was one wrong engagement. He took 2 Thor volleys to the face and just lost every single muta. It was over just like that.
Yeah, I think some would consider that the beginning and the end, but there was still a lot of ground for Dream to cover in his path to victory.
Yeah, definitely, and he covered that ground well, you know, and it was covered in Widow Mines, essentially.
It was.
Oh boy.
The road to victory, it's paved in Ling blood.
Definitely, and we'll see how things switch up. I do believe that Dream is probably going to go for a different opener. If you recall, he did prioritize getting out some Marauders, going for a concussive shell for this big initial push. It didn't really work out for him, and yeah, he's opting not to go anything like that here in game 2.
Yeah, going for a much more economic opening. 3cc before starport. We should just be seeing those Hellions come out to get some map control. And then some form of harassment unit from the not Medivac. I almost said Medbay, not Medbay. What's
Starport?
Starport. Yeah. That's the one.
Good job, man. We'll see.
I figured it out. After casting this game for 3 years and playing it for 4.
Jesus Christ. And another thing that I was going to point out is that I do believe that he did go for the 3rd CC before Starport. We've seen that opener become a little bit more popular nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, it is something that Terran players will throw around in the TVZ. You don't want to be using it as your go-to, but in a best of 5, just put it in, play a little bit more greedy, and see if your opponent allows you to get away with that.
Oh my god.
Oh, great scout.
I don't know how that happened. A single Ling somehow got past 2 Hellions and a couple of Marines and went all the way into the main base. The door was down. He was able to see the 111. He was able to see the CC that was already finished. So that does mean that DRG is aware of the opener. He is aware that, you know what, there's no Ravens, there's no Banshees, there was no Tech Lab on the starport. He's safe in that regard, and yeah, nice scout.
Yeah, forgive me if I'm wrong, but DRG did not see the armory though.
Oh, I do not believe he did. So, yeah, the army was thrown down after the Ling was dealt with, and this could hit hard here for Dream, as he does have a decent amount of Hellbats. I mean, Hellions.
Yeah, Hellions that will be Hellbats pending. And Stim is also going to be finishing up, depending on how many Marines he's got in that medevac. Okay, not too many.
Oh
but
my
still,
god.
That's a lot of DPS.
Yeah, one of the queens is going to be taking out. Looks like the second one will as well, as the rest of the queens were a little bit out of position, even off of creep. This is the worst case scenario for DRG, and all of these Hellions, they transform into those Hellbats.
Remember what we said about choke points? Well, Dream absolutely looking to utilize them. Zergling's actually walking entirely past the Hellbats over there, just trying to see if DRG can do some equalizing damage across the map. These drones are in so much trouble.
Exactly, the drones, they're trapped, and they're all going to be going down to the Hellbats. Meanwhile, these Hellbats are dealing with all the queens, and the Lings that went across the map, they just ran into a wall.
Instant GG, Dream on match point in less than half an hour. How does this happen, Light? We look at DRG, we see him as being one of the top ZvT players, and now Dream already ahead.
Oh my god. GG Dream with an incredibly strong Hellbat push. And again, it's something that I've noticed. DRG, he doesn't often go for like these Overlord scouts. He doesn't prioritize pneumatize Carapace and go in to make sure he's aware of what his opponent is doing. And because of that, he did get in with a Ling early on, and he's like, yo, that's all the scouting I need. Not at all. There was an armory in the natural, and that's what he needed to see.
Yeah, confidence is a double-edged sword sometimes.
It definitely is. And with that, Dream, he takes the quick win. He's up 2-0 in this best of 5. And now we're loading in to Romanticide.
Yeah, I feel like that is going to be about the end of the quick victories in the series, but we'll see. Dream so far has been absolutely on a tear. All right, as we spawn in to what could possibly be our final map of the evening, that map being Romanticide, LE. LE, of course, standing for Ling Lovers Encapsulation. Lovers Encapsulation. That's when you, like, take a photo and you put it in a diamond or something like that. Is that something you can do? Something along those lines.
What?
In the bottom right-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Terran player already on match point. My god, he is looking to finally turn his opponent's winning streak around against him. Representing Bravestar Gaming, BSG, we have Dream.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Romanticide LE, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Team Afrika Freaks. It is DongRaeGu. I miss Armani.
This is the only thing you can think of in a Afrika Zerg player.
After I said that, I'm like, yo,
you know what? I cannot blame you. I cannot blame you. I heard all the emotions in that.
I'm like, Armani, he was in the bracket earlier, and we didn't get to cast him.
Didn't get to cast him.
Feels bad, man.
He's moved on. Our boy, in the span of less than a year, he's grown from being knocked down in the group stage of Katowice to make it to the semifinals of GSL. That's, I know. I'm really happy for him.
I'm so proud. I'm so proud. He probably doesn't even know who we are, but you know what? I'm so proud of him. He's done so well for himself. But enough about Armani. We have a different Afrika Freaks Zerg player here. We have DongRaeGu, who has made it all the way to the grand finals. And mate, you don't want to go out 3-0. Like DRG, you can do better than that. You know, like you don't want to go out like this. Not like this, mate. Can he bring it back here on Romanticide? I mean, it is a map that does favor more of a macro style.
Yeah, that's definitely what DRG is want to do. He's not overly aggressive, generally preferring more timing-based plays. But Jagannatha was also arguably a macro map, and we just saw how Dream used that to his advantage. You know, he macroed decently well, but he also just completely hemorrhaged the macro of DRG with all of those harasses. First with Mind Drops, then with Liberators, then with Mind Drops again.
Yeah,
I hope we see something similar.
Part of me wants to say that I wonder if it's map specific, but then I remember that Time literally did it in every single map. Like in his series, you know, it's like he doesn't care. At least Time doesn't care. Maybe it's more of a map dependent thing. For Dream, it's hard to say. We'll see as this game does progress. Dream, he is going for a much more economic opener. We do see once again going for that third CC before Starport.
Yeah, sure, let's do it on a game art. But yeah, we are going for that third CC before Starport.
Do we not have game art? We don't. Oh.
Yeah, we don't. The icons aren't on the production buildings.
What do you know? I didn't realize. It's a shame that it doesn't come out here in the final game. We'll keep an eye on the minimap in case, you know, a couple of workers do go down.
Yeah. We can always keep Shift L ready. I mean, speak for yourself.
When I say we can count, I mean we can press Shift L and then look at the units lost.
But what if you have to minus?
Oh boy, we'll get to that bridge when we get to it. Okay.
Look, I passed my math exam. So you get bridges. That actually looks like, you know, those wooden crates they use to ship things like bottles of soft drinks.
Yeah, it looks like a pallet. Like a pallet has been.
Pallet. That's what I was thinking of. Pallet.
A pallet has been thrown down to connect these two like pieces of rock. Like, God, oh my God! Look, don't even, man.
Yeah, tourists come down and say, "Is it safe?" And whoever the locals are like, "Yeah, we hope so."
The tradies slap it, you know. Yeah, solid. Oh my God. All right, and we'll see what happens here. As you know, Dream, he's trying to be a little bit aggressive here. And speaking of which, like, we didn't get to talk about it, but I'm so surprised DRG taking the forward third base. Oh my God.
Yeah, it typically indicates aggression, and with this Baneless coming out, I mean, he can't be going for a Bane Bust this late in the ZvT, can he?
No, he cannot. We do see the lair is on the way. We do have 3 gases so far. We'll see if he does take his fourth and does decide to go for that Spire. I'm just kind of waiting because at the moment, there it is. I was waiting. Double Evos do get thrown down. And meanwhile, once again, we do have the Armory on the way for Dream. Mate, he loves his Hellbats.
That's, yeah, he does. Getting a little bit of 2013 vibes out of him. That was also back when DongRaeGu was, played quite a bit.
That was yeah, we were talking about Björn earlier, mate. Innovation. He was the Hellbat killer. He's the one who nerfed that unit to the ground back in 2013. Jesus Christ.
Shaking my head.
Yeah. F's in the chat for Sulky. But here we go. It looks like these Hellbats are coming out across the map. Same with this drop, lining up quite nicely with the finishing of this armory.
Yeah, and their stim was already completed earlier on. This is quite a lot of Marines, Hellbats as well, and we were talking about taking the fort base like this. Typically, when a Zerg player does this, it indicates aggression because it is so much harder to defend this fort third.
Exactly, you don't have that high ground advantage. Meanwhile, a couple of Banelings were morphed in defensively, and they will connect with the Hellbats.
Yeah, taking the majority of them out, but there was enough of a split from Dream. Good target firing. Queens are running out transfuse energy.
Oh, they are running out.
They do target down the medevacs.
Oh, not before a couple of Queens are targeted down as well. Dream trading as best as he can, as efficiently as he can, and you know what? Without Banelings, it's so difficult to deal with Marines.
It very much is. Target firing has been so good on these lone Banelings here and there from Dream. And the Queens are so low. One more stim goes in.
Oh, and he gets the Queen, gets 2 Queens, and then takes out a bunch of Links as well. You know what? He can just continue to ride this momentum. We were talking about it immediately. He gets into that mineral line. More and more drones are going down. And is this going to snowball from here?
Right on top of the Queens. All of the Zerglings have been taken out. Widow Mines putting so much damage onto those Queens. One Baneling does connect, and it does put an end to the aggression out of Dream, but 13 drones have gone down so far this game.
Exactly, utilizing that shift L, 13 drones went down at the third base. Meanwhile, Dream only lost 1 SCV from that Link counterattack. Jesus Christ, Dream did so much damage there. But you know what? DRG, he was able to hold on. He has a 4th base on the way. He finished up his Hydralist then because he is not going for Mutas. He's going Ling Bane Hydra.
And I do love this. Coming out from DRG, he knows that Dream is very much a mind player, isn't going to be expecting any techs coming out, and Dream, he's not making any techs, going in Drilling Claws.
Yeah, exactly, and ideally when it comes to, you know, Widow Mines and tanks are what you want against Hydras, Widow Mines are what you want against Mutas, so this will favor, you know, the army composition a little bit to DRG, but at the moment it's not about the army composition, it's about these Widow Mine drops. Oh my god.
Is that gonna be enough to take out? I mean, it should take out at least one. Yeah, splits at the last second.
Yeah, if he didn't split, then
what do you know?
Yeah, that's an interesting use of the Widow Mines. To be fair, I'm sure Dream, he saw that. He's like, all right, DRG, he probably sees this drop. I may as well deal what damage I can, get a free Overlord before I dive into the main base. And I mean, we should see a response coming in from DRG.
Yeah, like we waited for Drilling Claws to finish up. Another couple of workers going down. 26 have gone down in total this game.
Jesus, an extra 13 just went down in the natural. That's quick math. Meanwhile, he's going in again. But you know what? The Hydras, they sniped the medevac out of the sky.
Yeah, really good use of the anti-air. Even the Spore there just to really secure it. And now that Dream knows that it's Hydras, do we see a switch to tanks? That we do, but he is still dedicated to the mine harass.
Exactly, he's still working on those mines. Here we go, another medevac here towards the south. Meanwhile, another medevac towards the north, so he's just not stopping with these drops. We'll see if we are able to keep up with them. Meanwhile, DRG, like, he does have a couple of Overlords in position, but we've seen that despite the Overlords being there, like, he just can't keep up. Or can he?
He cannot, at least not right now. Infestation Pit has already been thrown down. Hive halfway on the way. And this is DRG really rushing into his tier 3. Dream will still be in his sort of mid-game army for a while.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, as he cleans creep here, again, just kind of distracting his opponent, we do have the Widow Mines coming into the third base at the same time. We do have a drop going into the main as well. The army gets stopped and, oh boy.
Yeah, so many mines coming down. This entire mineral line so vulnerable. 41 drones in total. 42, 43. What is that? Minus 26. It is. Okay, it's not done yet because 53 have gone down.
Mate, there was no reaction whatsoever. DRG, he was only able to pull the workers from his main base, and oh my god, it looks like...
Oh, the BM. I actually don't know what it... I actually don't know.
The BM being thrown out right now. DRG is like, yo, what the hell? I'm an old man. I can't keep up with all these Widow Mines. Jesus Christ, I'm just losing drones all over the place. Meanwhile, the main armies are connecting here, and decent Widow Mine... I'm sorry, decent Baneling connections.
Yeah, taking out a decent chunk of the bio over there, and Dream well aware he cannot stay with the, especially with the Hydras over there. Doing some slow math here, and that's 22 more drones went down throughout the total. Wait, 22? No, not 22.
In total, 54 drones have gone down.
28 drones went down throughout that entire harass with all those mines.
Exactly. But you know what, DRG, he's still up there in terms of the worker count. Like, he still has 83. Like, that is still a respectable amount of drones. But of course, like, that does mean that his main army is weaker. It means that there were periods of time where his economy was just in shambles. But you know what, you were talking about it earlier. We do have Hive outs, we do have Vipers, Ling Bane, Hydra, Viper. I imagine we want to see some lurkers coming out from DRG. We'll see if he ends up incorporating that, playing a little bit more European, if you will. There it is. Immediately the lurker den gets thrown down.
And honestly, what more do you need? I do feel like Lingbane Hydra with Viper support is just about the most well-rounded composition you can get as a Zerg player. And with those lurkers, you're just really securing your choke points and your defenses and whatnot.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like this main army does get... Oh, you know, they do trade fairly well. At the same time, Dream does drop into the main.
Yeah, bringing back a decent amount of Link supply. And with all of these Marauders, there are not quite enough Marines for Dream to really push into there.
Ooh, yeah, exactly. And oh, yeah, it looks like the drop will be dealt with. He even gets yoinked out of the sky. I will say a bit of criticism, DRG, this lurker den is incredibly late. Typically, you want to line this up with Hive, so as soon as Hive finishes up, you can start your lurker upgrade. So it has been a bit delayed, but again, it's understandable because there's just been so much going on. He's been having to replenish his economy so many times, so he just hasn't had the time to throw that down. So at the moment, he is stuck with some Ling Bane Hydra, but you know what? That could be enough.
That definitely could be enough. I see a lot of supply coming in here from DRG. Vipers kind of trailing behind. That's a lot of tanks, but one misplacement will mean that only a couple of blinding clouds will be needed to completely take them out of fight.
Yeah, meanwhile, you do see this massive run by the Banelings going to be crushed through the supply depot wall, but oh, is there enough time here? There are Widow Mines to defend.
Yeah, there was.
Wow.
Decent chunk of the Banelings taken out, and now both players maxing out.
There we go. They are maxed out. We do have the lurker upgrades on the way. 3-3 as well. Ooh, a couple of Widow Mines going down for free, and the tanks are unsieged.
Yeah, Dream not at all anticipating DRG to be that close to his army. Blinding Clouds taking out so many tanks and so much of the bio. All of these Lings are just streaming forward, but DRG does not want to fight that far off a creep. Beautiful snipes.
Jesus.
On a key number of Vipers.
Yeah, again, the problem is, like, there are no lurkers in play at the moment. Even though he has a lurker den, even though he already has lurker range, he's still working on Burrow. He needs them to help round out this army. At the moment, he just doesn't have enough to push through. Even catching his opponent unsieged, even getting amazing blinding clouds, it wasn't enough. And here we go, he's going in again.
Yeah, another really good blinding cloud. So the Lings are coming in to just do as much damage for free as they can. Banelings just connecting everywhere. Ghosts taken out. This is pretty far off creep for DRG, so Dream can still try to muster up a bit of defense, but he just has done so much damage. Look at the bank of Dream. Absolutely plummet. DRG looking to reinforce this as quickly as he can, and he's got the resources to do that.
Oh yeah, definitely he does. He has a massive bank. He's just rallying across the map with his Lings, with his Hydras. He's able to snipe, take out that floating CC. There is just barely enough here from Dream to hold the line. But to what cost? Like, again, Dream, he's expanded like a madman. He's got hatcheries all over the place, and it feels like Dream just doesn't have the room to really counterattack, and I feel like he needs to. Like, he has these medevacs. He needs to do something to stop these hatcheries from DRG.
Something like nukes?
You're a madman. you're crazy, Yaku. You're crazy. We could see nukes. I feel like Dream, he just doesn't have the economy for it at the moment. He's barely got any minerals. He is going for a drop, which I do like. And to be fair, the creep spread from DRG isn't that amazing. Like, he's just barely covering half of the map. So because of that, like, it is a little bit more difficult for DRG to engage off of creep on Dream's side. But here we go. Look at how many lurkers he has. Jesus Christ.
I'm just saying, one nuke.
That's
lurkers.
That's 19 lurkers.
That is 19 lurkers compared to eight Hydras.
Oh my god. This Planetary's dead.
Gonna get quite a bit done. Yeah, Planetary's dead. The SCV is completely shredded due to the due to splash damage. Now, the Ghosts are getting some pretty good snipes. But thanks to the Seismic Spines, the Lurkers will be able to contest that.
Yeah, exactly. Seismic Spines is done. I mean, again, really nice snipes. He is able to pick up a couple of Lurkers, and they are naked. So essentially, DRG is just giving up on these Lurkers. He essentially he's trading all these Lurkers for the Ghost and for the Planetary. We'll see if it becomes worth it. Meanwhile, we did have a bit of a drop, but it looks like it did get dealt with over to the north. And
going down there, jeez.
Yeah.
All right, once again, filling up this hole. Not too much splash damage. I mean, the mines aren't even borrowed. This, every time an engagement happens, it looks more and more and more likely that's going to be a DRG victory, but the army supply is dwindling for him. Dream's catching up.
Yeah, he is, but you know what, like, it looks like all of this is going to be going down. It forces all these CCs to lift up, but here we go, the reinforcements do come. Finally, the main army did deal with all the Lurkers to the north, and now he's able to reinforce here to the south.
Yeah, and that was a pretty good engagement there for Dream, but looking at the economy, DRG is so far ahead there. He has a massive bank. He has the way better income lead. And just this creep spread, my god.
Yeah, I will say that DRG did waste a lot of resources in those 19 Lurkers. Like, literally every single one of them died. Like, that was a big investment. But it does seem like DRG could afford that. Like, he's got a massive bank. He's maxed out 200 supply, and now he's looking to push on in.
It really was just for him to decide, yeah, I'm not making Lurkers anymore. It was just for him to confirm that. Banelings crashing in onto pretty much the rest of Dream's army, I should say.
Yeah, and everything's going down. Blinding Cloud's going down as well. Even though all the Ling Bane gets cleaned up, there's still plenty of Hydras, still some reinforcing Banelings that he's going to be pushing on forward. This is the last stand here of a Dream, and it looks like with the nice snipes, he may be able to hold on here. There is a tank behind this.
Somehow, gonna be holding on to his third base over here, if only barely. But again, I mean, Orbital Command did get taken out, taking out even more SCVs, and just preventing the mining from happening in this base was so long.
Yeah, meanwhile, we'd have a big league run by, and there were only 2 tanks here to defend, so the tanks immediately got taken out, and now this mineral line is completely undefended. It's all going to be going down, forcing Dream to come back up here to the north to try and save it. And that's the problem, right? Like, even though Dream is like having all these amazing trades and he's defending well, he just doesn't have enough army to split up and defend, you know, both ends at the same time.
Absolutely. DRG keeps losing these engagements, but what he's winning is he's winning the economic battle. He's winning. He's eventually going to be able to win the war unless Dream can really pull out a miracle.
Yeah, it's going to come down to a big miracle. And you know what? You were talking about it earlier. Nukes are on the way, so he does have that available to him.
At least one nuke will. They're going to blind the only tank. Massive connection with the Banelings.
Oh my god.
I see it so clearly, like one Paris bomb. Yep, there we go. Yep. Gonna take up so much. GG is called. DRG gonna be putting a point in the map. Once again showing that he did not get that win streak over Dream for nothing. 172 drones he made. And his APM was almost 600. DRG, goddamn, my guy.
Oh my god, 172 drones. Jesus Christ. Dream, his harassment was on a point, but in the end, he just couldn't keep up with the Dong himself. And you know what? I'm glad that, you know, DRG, he was able to put a point on the board. I didn't want him to go down in that 3-0 fashion.
Absolutely. And I'm pretty sure the viewers are pretty happy with that as well. We got a lot more StarCraft coming down.
Oh boy. Meanwhile, I've got a lot of Hangul coming out here. It looks like Dream said that he's going to pass out after this series. It's getting kind of late over there, I think that's what he said. I was trying to...
30-ish over there in Korea.
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel like Dream may just be exhausted after how intense this series has been so far. But he will have to pull it off and will have to win at least one more map before he's allowed to rest here. And we'll see if we can get it done here on Pills of Gold. LE holding up everything. LE. And here in the bottom left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the bottom left-hand corner map, the tired blue Terran going for a bit of a cheeky opening here. Going to be representing Bravestar Gaming. He is BSG Dream.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Pillars of Gold, LE currently getting proxied. We have, oh my god, and is his Overlord gonna scout it? Jesus Christ, this could be a short game. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, currently representing Afrika Freaks. It is DongRaeGu. He spots the proxy.
And the Overlord sees it, yep.
He sees it. He spots it.
Oh,
he does. He does.
He does. He sees exactly what's going on.
Oh boy, and we've seen proxies here on Pillars of Gold before, specifically on this location or further north or over here to the right, and immediately get spotted. The drones are coming, and we'll see if these Raxes get finished.
Yeah, this is a pretty good position to build the Raxes in. Will prevent quite a bit of surface area for on top of the barracks, and there's always this little bit of room for the SCVs to not get killed in, but it also allows them to get cursed a little.
It does. You know, we'll see if they get freed from this position. I'm sure he would love to utilize these SCVs to throw down some bunkers, but lifting up a Rax, it hurts the production of these Marines a lot, but he's gonna have to because one of the Marines is stuck back here as well. There we go.
All right. That's not the only one who that happens to.
Yeah, I don't know if that was intentional or not, but there we go. We do have the Marines coming out. The first bunker is being placed.
I would say it was. Just because he didn't want to have a Soul Marine get immediately surrounded by drones, like DongRaeGu is looking to do right now.
Yeah, he is looking to
pull back.
Yeah, I mean, this is hurting the economy of DongRaeGu, but again, it's going to be totally worth it if he's able to catch a couple of reinforcing units like that. And here we go. The Lings are at it. Looks like the first bunker is going to go down.
Indeed it will, and the Link's gonna surround on the second bunker as well. I highly doubt if Dream will be able to put his Marines in, but it looks like he barely will be able to. He pulled more SCVs. He pulled more SCVs.
Yeah.
Have a bit of a buffer to have potentially more production here. Nicely done.
Yeah, exactly. And as soon as the bunker finished, he was on top of that, repairing it, making sure it stayed alive. And now he has this rallying point, and it looks like, oh, he goes for the surround. DRG.
Yeah, he does, and these SCVs will just about be taken out, so no more repair on the bunker. There actually is still one. Okay, it does get taken out right in the end. Queen actually taken out. GG is called immediately. Dream. He was tired, but now he can rest. GG is called. Dream gonna be taking that series 3-1. What a way to end it.
Wow. Despite being scouted, I love the decision to pull a couple more boys. He knew that he was essentially all in, and he had to make sure he made it work. And with that, he was able to pull them to make sure he buffered, to make sure he had enough SCVs to repair the bunker, keep it alive. And as soon as that bunker finished, that was it, man. Like, DRG, he committed a lot, and he ended up losing the Queen. He lost the Lings. He would have lost the drones. Like, he would have lost too much. He did lose too much.
He did lose quite a bit. He lost a lot of drones, and that itself would have probably been fine if he could have gotten a Queen out. That was really the backbone of his defense over there, but just a little split second too late, pulling the Queen back, did get taken out by the bunker. Or the Marines, I should say, in the bunker.
Yeah, definitely. And GG, like, Dream, he does close it out. He is our ESL Open Cup number 44 Asia champion.
Finally ending DRG's win streak against him.
Yeah, DRG, he does have a bit of a history with him, but in the end, Dream, he does come out on top here at the end of 2020, and I could be wrong, but I'm quickly going to check if this is his first ESL win or if he's done so in the past. This is his first win.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the only Terran champion I can remember is Dream, not Dream, Cure.
Yeah, it's Cure and Bunny that one time. Like, that was, they are the only Terran champions, and now Dream is going to be up there alongside them. Congratulations! It is his first of these championships, and wow, what a series. Yeah, what a day.
What a day to end things on. I mean, Dream, he had to go through quite a bit to get here, to be honest. I mean, his series against Bjorn alone.
Oh yeah, that was beautiful. That was quite a TVT. And we've had a lot of good TVTs recently, you know, whether it was today with Special, Bjorn and Dream, or, you know, a couple of weeks ago now when it came to the GSL finals. It's pretty cool to see. It's pretty cool to see the meta shift and evolve and not be as stagnant as it once was.
It is a pretty exciting time coming out right at, yeah, I guess right when most people are, I don't want to say hoping for it, but like, you know, they're kind of expecting some shifts coming out, right? It's been a while since we had that.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely has been. So it's great that we've seen TVT change to be a little bit more diverse. And yeah, it's great to see Dream in shape. You know, he's been, I love to see when a player, sure, he's been out of GSL for a while, but he's just consistently been training, practicing, improving on himself. And now he's been finally able to win one of these weeklies. GG. Oh my God. And with that, thank you everyone for tuning in today. We are done with ESL Open Cup number 44 Asia. Of course, this is the first of the ESL Open Cups this week. We will have Europe in a couple of hours, followed by NA.
Ooh, and by we, do we mean we specifically?
No, we're not casting.
That's what I thought.
Not at all. I mean, I'm very tempted to cast DreamHack NA. Europe is at an awful time for us. We can't do Europe. NA, it's not a bad time, so potentially we will be covering that in the future. Not this week though. We've kind of been busy and we have a lot of work.
I got class in the morning.
Yeah, we've got work piling up. It wouldn't be with you, Yaku, but I mean, most likely it'd be like with Milk or Yoda or something along those lines. I know that in December, like, you have your schedule opens up a little bit more, so maybe we'll be able to jump on that. Especially because NA is exciting because we have Korean players in there as well as like Latin America, North America, like everyone's there.
I'm nodding along here, yeah. It's really exciting. A really good mix of players over there.
Yeah, definitely. And with that, Yaku, why don't you tell the people who you are?
Well, I was born on a cold,
You're a dragon.
What month was I born? Dragon? Twitch.tv/Yakuzaku1 may push out a short stream, but probably not. Assignments and whatnot. Twitter.com @Empora_Yakuzaku! !Discord in the chat. You can find myself as well as the other members of CranKy, if you would prefer that. And that, buy my shirts. Where can we find you, Light?
Light_VIP on Twitch and Twitter. I do stream occasionally. I was actually laddering earlier today before the tournament started, before our broadcast started. I was playing 3v3s with Vortex and DongRaeGu, who are some Latin American SC2 admins and community members. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, I stream whenever I can. Probably won't be streaming too much this week, as I will be catching up on all the work, all of the casts that we've had over on the CranKy Ducklings. We had a packed weekend, so now it's time to edit all the VODs, upload them all to YouTube. Speaking of, !YouTube in the chat if you want to tune in to some of our previous casts. They're all uploaded there to our channel. And yeah, I mean, as you can see now, hold on, as I do quickly switch over to our schedule, we are live consistently throughout the week. We do have a couple of days off here in the center of the week, but over the weekends, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we have plenty of StarCraft for you. So if you are a fan, if you enjoyed our cast, then hit that follow button. We will really appreciate it. We have plenty of casts, we have plenty of duos, casting duos, and plenty of StarCraft here.
That we do. That we do. Stay tuned for the next cast, which should be on Friday. The Duckling Open. As our own amateur event, open to anyone across the regions from the ranks of Bronze to Diamond 1. come join on in. It's a great fun time.
Yeah, it's an amateur tournament that we run every single Friday. It's either Duckling Open or Master Swan Open, you know, one for Diamond players, one for Masters players. We are all about growing that grassroots scene, growing, you know, having something for players to compete in and eventually grow and, you know, climb up that ladder. And it's really, what's the word I'm looking for? Not fascinating, but it feels amazing when we are able to see players rise up and eventually, you know, work up to GM, you know, thanks to like initiatives like this. It's really cool to see.
Yeah, Oreo.
Satisfying. That's it. Like Oreo, Starduck, Ruichi. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And with that, thanks everyone for watching. We really appreciate it. Again, I apologize for the technical issues we had earlier on in the stream. I know that the broadcast quality wasn't amazing with the screen share. The audio was good, but there was a lot of stuttering and we weren't in the games. But you know, we did end up cleaning up all those issues. We got here in the end. We made it through. It was a great day of StarCraft, and thanks everyone for watching.
Thank you very much. That's gonna be it from us. Stay tuned as we raid another StarCraft 2 streamer. Other than that, I will see you.
We'll see you next time, either next week or for our next broadcast. Ciao.
Bella.